Greetings and welcome to Brief Departure, the only podcast that you need to bridge the gap between the candidates and the voters. We are here to give you an in-depth look on the candidates, their personal life, and how their visions can help us reshape our college. We believe that the student council elections should be more inclusive between both the voters and the candidates.
No slogan, no posters, just straight up conversation with the candidate himself.
I'm your host, Manjik, and this is my co-host, Muiz. And this is everything that you need to know to get up to speed on Hazim Ruzaimi. Hazim, welcome to the show.
Thank you guys, thank you very much.
So, how do you feel?
I feel quite excited as the elections is coming nearer than ever. So, I'm also very excited to be here today. This is a new initiative and it's very interesting to me for a group of students in KYUM to host a podcast about the situations that are currently happening in KYUM.
Thank you very much. So, if you don't mind asking, how did you feel exactly when we approached you to become a guest speaker on our podcast?
To be honest, I was quite shocked because at first I thought that this podcast was a joke. But somehow, one day, one night, Muiz texted me and then said to me, Hazim, do you want to be our first guest of the show? And absolutely, I agreed. This is an amazing opportunity for me to have a great conversation with you guys and also share a little bit about myself and also what I want to bring to KYUM in the future.
Speaking of talking about yourself, let's start with a little background. Can you tell us more about yourself and what exactly inspired you to run for the president of the student council?
So first of all, let's start with my name. My name is Muhammad Hazim Ruzaimi, but I'm mostly known as Hazim Ruzaimi. So back when I was in high school, I was a student of the Malay College Kuala Kangsar. So this
Facility school.
No, we are on the average school. So in Malay College is the place where I learned quite a lot on leadership and also where I explored more about myself. And before I went to Malay College, my primary school was Sekolah Kebangsaan Menjalara. It's just a primary school nearby my house. So a little bit about my personal life. I live with my parents and my sister in Kepuang, Kuala Lumpur. So if any one of you guys want to go to One Utama, you guys can also hit me up. It's very close, 5-minute drive. And that is all about me, about my personal details.
Right.
So, what do you feel about being in the most prestigious school in Malaysia? You know?
Malay College. At first, when I entered in Form 1, I thought Malay College was some exclusive 5-star school. And then I was greeted with an old building. So in Malay College, Form 1 is excluded from the rest of the students. So we are situated in a dormitory, a block of dormitory called prep school. So prep school was built since 100 years ago.
Really? 100 years ago?
Yes.
Damn.
100 plus years actually.
100 plus.
They celebrated the 100th anniversary like a decade ago. So to be in a building like that, I was quite disappointed at that. I thought that my dorm would be very luxury, filled with interesting and more 5-star like vibes. But when I entered my dorm, everything was like half destroyed. I was quite shocked. But that was the place that built me. So I'm quite grateful that I have to go through those painful journeys, going to not just our dormitories are in a terrible condition back then, even our classes are not in a good condition. So those challenging moments actually taught us Malay College boys to become more tough and more grateful of what we have.
Lagi strong.
Yeah, lagi strong. Don't talk about the food. The food in KYUM is like 10 times better than what Malay College served us. You guys too.
The food here is amazing. I don't know why people are complaining about in Korea confessions, but compared to where we came from, the food here is like at least 10 times better.
Maybe people compare the food that they are served from their homes. So we came from very different backgrounds. Each of us are unique. Some of us are not from fully residential schools. So we have people that come from daily schools, some from international schools. So maybe their expectations are a little bit higher.
Yeah, true that.
They maybe expect the food, the drinks, the quality overall here to be better. Like me, when I first entered Malay College, my expectation was high. Maybe the same goes to them. Yeah.
So let's twist the subject. Now, leadership isn't just about experience,
Yeah.
but what exactly are the leadership positions and extracurriculars in the past that you have gone through that will help you or inspired you even more to become the president of student council?
So it started when I was standard 6 in primary school. I was quite lucky to got the opportunity to be the head boy of my primary school.
Wow. Yeah.
So from there, one thing that I learned that I still practice until today is the importance of you as a leader want to help others. So this story started when I was the UPSR was around the corner. You still remember UPSR?
Yeah.
We are the OGs.
Yeah.
So I was quite grateful that I have encountered this experience where all my friends back then are very diverse in their backgrounds. Most of them come from very low privileged families. Some of them can't really focus on their studies as they have other commitments. So as a result, they struggled quite a lot in their studies. And at that point, my teacher asked me, Hazim, can you help them? You are lucky, you have the time to study, your parents are very supportive, your family are in good condition, you can maintain your good academics and all. So why don't you help them? So at that point, I started to think, actually, why don't I help? I started to help them earlier, right? From there, I helped them in terms of academic most of the time, helping them to juggle around mathematics and science. That was a struggle back then for a lot of us.
Especially maths and science.
Yeah. And it was a tough journey. Teaching people, it's like teaching people from scratch. Because every of my friend back then have different levels of understanding. Some of them cannot even understand quickly. So that is quite a rough journey to teach them properly. So it was all worth it, to be honest. Because guess what? On the announcement of UPSR result, a history that was never been thought be possible by our teachers, the management itself, is we became the top 3 school in our district. All of my friends got it around 5 A's and 4 A's, which is very, very good compared to what they got in their trials and their videos.
I see.
And because of that, it sparked me to become and learn more to be a leader. And that's what one of the main leadership aspects that is very important for you, to have a very strong drive, very strong spirit to continuously help others. And that's the spirit that I continue to bring into Malay College. But it's quite different. In Malay College, in order for you to hold big positions in school, it starts from Form 4. So when I reached Form 4, I was hit with a huge disappointment because I failed to become a prefect. So the only choice that I had back then was the Malay College Student Union. But the path to be a student union is quite challenging, as you have to go through election, and then you have to campaign to your seniors. Imagine as a junior campaigning to seniors, and then you have to figure out what you want to bring right to the school. But that brings me to another characteristic of a leader that we should have, that I think is very important, which is the drive in yourself to push yourself to do things that beyond your norm. For me, it is not something familiar to campaign myself in front of a lot of people, especially talking about manifestos and all. But because of my confidence and my drive to try something new, it taught me a valuable experience that is very beneficial. And built who I am today.
Wow. Honestly, I have a very high respect for people who are running for these positions because throughout our experience, we were just handed over these
Yeah.
positions. So we didn't have to apply for them at all. So for people who run and explicitly go for these positions, I do have a high respect for them.
True. That's because Hazim, he realized that his action alone impacted other people's lives. So that is the drive for him to run for future position. So that's good.
Ni, kau kan ketua pengawas.
Tak ada lah. Kita orang dapat je jawatan tu tu.
Tak agak.
I mean, is that the difference between the prefectorial board and the student union?
The prefectorial board is mostly teachers electing selected students to become prefects. But for me, a different and a specialty of you running for student union is you have to show and prove yourself to other students in order for you to get a position. To become prefect, it is actually easier in my opinion, because you don't have to figure out campaigns, your manifestos. You just have to be a good student in front of your teachers and maintain a good track record of your academics, curriculums, and also your discipline.
Yeah.
But for student union, it is another challenge and another chapter for me.
So for those two different bodies, which body do you think impacted college more?
That is a very sensitive question. But I will tell you the functions of these two bodies first. For prefectorial board, it is more formal tasks. For assemblies, back then we have inspection, which is regulatory dormitory check.
Yeah.
And then we also have other formal things. All will be connected to prefectorial board. But other things besides that are all on the Malay College student unions. How event coordination, event that is more engaging,
I
and
see.
also the overall welfare and well-being of the student is on the hands of the Malay College student unions. So the fun activities, more enjoyable stuff are handled by Malay College student union. For example, concerts, open day, and also Teachers Day, all of those events, the games. Back then we have inter-house. Here it is called Sports Carnival. But in Malay College, we call it Quad Colours. The battle of the 4 houses in Malay College.
Yeah.
So all of that are hosted by Malay College Student Union. That's why, in my personal opinion, I prefer to be a secretary of the student union, because you can see the joy, the sweet memories that the students are having while at the event that you are hosting.
So what exactly was your position back in college?
I have two major roles in Malay College back then. First is the secretary of the student union, and secondly, I am the head of the welfare department for prefectorial board. So my job is quite interconnected, so it's quite easy for me to juggle around both of the bodies.
So speaking of that, why did you choose to pursue president and not the welfare and secretary of KY Student Council?
First of all, I had experiences back then being in a lower position, studying for secretary, become a normal member. Because when I was in Form 4, I was just a normal prefect. And then I was upgraded to become the head of department. And to me, I want to challenge myself to do something bigger, because I see when you step up into a bigger role, you can drive a bigger impact, a bigger change towards the institution itself. Because you have a larger say in the organization, and you can lead them. You can be the pioneer of something new, of something that can be very beneficial to KY, because you are the main leader. You are the man in charge. Because before this, the challenge that I faced when I was the secretary, I was the head, I was not the highest man in charge, is you have to go through phases in order for your ideas, your thoughts to be implemented. So to me, it is a new thing, a new challenge that I want to take, which is to become the man in charge and drive new ideas and also initiatives around. Soon we have our new schools, what they want to bring those ideas from each school to become a reality.
Really, I really look up to your vision. So can we talk about like the process of you applying for SC? Like, do you face any problems or like any setbacks, and how you overcome it?
Right now, applying for SC is not a huge trouble. You just have to find endorsements and all. To me, the biggest setback is setting up your manifestos.
Yeah.
At the first stage, I have a few manifestos that I want to do. But after I met a few people, met the seniors, asked my batchmates, and also the teachers, the management, it caused a headache to me that these manifestos are quite challenging.
Quite overwhelming, right?
These manifestos are not quite relevant. So you have to change from time to time based on the thoughts and opinions that they give me. So that is the main setback, which is to set up your manifestos. Other than that, to me, applying for the student council right now is quite a smooth process.
So I don't want to dive in too deep into your manifesto, but let's just give a little bit of an overview. What exactly do you see in KY, both culturally or systematically, that you think needs change?
Alright, so I believe in quantity than I believe in quality than quantity. Sorry. So I only have two major manifestos that I want to bring, and first is KY Gallery. I want to create a proper archive for our media and a better way to channel these media.
Exactly. Like, we have all of these events and we have no access to the pictures that the RC has taken. Yeah.
True.
So I see there's quite a problem there, and I think KY Gallery is a very good solution to this problem. And the best thing, we have a proper archive that we can access from time to time, even when we already flew overseas. We can look back at those moments.
That's what we want. That's what we want.
Soon, Cambridge. We are studying in Cambridge, and then we are quite bored. We look back at those photos, and then it sparked us to continue to fight harder.
Yeah, exactly.
So another manifesto that I want to bring, this one is the most challenging one in my opinion, but the impact it can bring is very high. It's very good, which is a standardized platform for every single aspect that student council is responsible of.
Okay.
So as you see, we have academics, sports, welfare, special tasks, and also secretary. All of this will be put in the platform where everyone can access it through one link, which is this one platform that soon we will be building. And another part of this platform, the benefit of it is my aspiration is I want to build a hub through this platform where we as current students can connect with our alumni that already flew to their respective universities. So I don't want to dive too deep on that. That is just a rough overview of what I aspire to do as a president. So that is just about it, I can tell you.
Sounds interesting.
So you guys have to wait for Manifesto Night.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it, must say. So I think we can wrap up. But before that, I think this is your final chance to speak directly to the voters. So if you could wrap up the whole session that we had tonight in one sentence, what would it be?
If you guys, my friends in KYUM, are looking for a leader who is passionate on what he does and also can work together easily in a team and handsome. Very subjective. And the last one has a good vision and on what he wants to build in KYUM. I am your right candidate, you guys. So don't forget to come to Manifesto Night and don't forget to vote for me, Hazim Ruzaimi.
Alright, so one final question, a bit of a juicy question. Hazim Ruzaimi, who do you think will win, or it's win, right? It's win. It's win the position of the president of the student council.
Who's gonna win?
Yeah.
That is a question that I can't even answer. So I guess the best answer right now is we have to wait.
You'll have to wait.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Because every candidate has its own specialty, its own uniqueness.
That's true.
So we'll see what the future will show us.
So, if Hazim can't answer that, and neither can us, and I don't think you guys can too. So that's why I need you guys to stay tuned for the next episode of Brief Departure, so you guys get up to speed on all of the candidates, their visions, their personal lives, and how they can help us change the college that we are here. So that's a wrap for today's episode. Thank you, Hazim Ruzaimi, for joining us and sharing your vision. Sambung lah. Sambung lah. Sambung lah. Me and to all our listeners, your vote matters. Cakap.
And to all our listeners, your vote matters. Whoever it is, it matters.
The student council election is happening on the 21st of February, so make sure you come down and cast your votes. Thank you, and that's a wrap.
Aduh, yang last part aku lupa pula buat dia.